Let us sit down together, relax our minds, and allow the flow of peace to permeate our souls. In this impermanent life, we are all practitioners on the path to enlightenment, and it is on this journey that we need to deeply understand the concepts of samsara and karma. These are not distant, abstract ideas, but natural laws, integral parts of the universal flow that we cannot escape. From the daily aspects of life to the significant events that shape our existence, there are times when we struggle to comprehend why some are born into fortune, while others endure countless hardships. Is it mere coincidence, or is there an unseen force orchestrating everything? Buddhism teaches that all things fall within the cycle of samsara and karma. Samsara refers to the continuity of existence across lifetimes, while karma is the result of our actions, speech, and thoughts. Many often think of karma as punishment, as the suffering we endure for past wrongdoings. But karma is more than that. It also encompasses joy and blessings that arise from the good seeds we have sown and are now reaping. Like planting seeds. If the seeds are good, the soil fertile, and the care diligent, the tree will grow and yield sweet fruits. If the seeds are bad or neglected, the tree may wither or bear bitter fruit. Every action, word, and thought we have is a seed sown into the universe, and its results will return to us, sometimes in this life, sometimes in another. This understanding is not meant to instill fear or anxiety about bad karma, but to remind us that we are the architects of our destiny. By gaining clarity about samsara and karma, we can choose to plant good seeds and perform virtuous deeds, knowing that what we do today lays the foundation for our future. No one determines our karma for us, nor can anyone absolve us of it. Each individual bears full responsibility for their life, not as punishment from a higher power, but as the natural law of cause and effect. Karma is not something preordained, but a continuous process. We have the power to change our karma by transforming our actions, thoughts, and compassion. When we engage in virtuous deeds, we not only improve our present lives, but also sow the seeds for better lifetimes in the future. Understanding that every action creates karma naturally makes us more mindful in how we treat others, ourselves, and all living beings. Indeed, with every breath, every step, we are creating karma. A kind word, sincere listening, or a small act of kindness can generate good karma. Conversely, a disdainful glance, hurtful words, or harmful actions toward others create negative karma, which will eventually return to us, whether sooner or later. The important thing is that we can change our karma, transform negative karma, and make life better through compassion and wisdom. Have you ever wondered why we meet certain people who feel like old acquaintances, or why some seem to exist to teach us painful lessons? These experiences might be connections from past karma, links that are invisible to the eyes but perceptible to the soul. The relationships and challenging situations we encounter are not meaningless trials, but opportunities for learning, growth, and the purification of our karma. We cannot change what has happened in the past, but we can transform how we respond to the present, and through that, shape the future. This is the profound beauty of samsara and karma. No matter how many mistakes we have made, there is always a chance to start anew, to do better, and to live a more meaningful life. Each moment of awareness is a step further on the path to enlightenment, a step closer to inner peace. Samsara and karma are not burdens weighing us down. They are guiding lights, illuminating the truth that every action matters and every effort holds significance. When we understand this, our hearts become lighter, not burdened by fear or regret, but filled with peace, acceptance, and gratitude. Gratitude for life, for the opportunities it gives us to change, to transform, and to become better. When we look at life with the eyes of understanding and compassion, we see that everything is interconnected, all part of the endless flow of samsara. We are not alone on this journey. All beings walk alongside us, learning and transforming together. This interconnectedness gives life its meaning, even amidst moments of suffering or failure. Remember, samsara and karma are not punishments, but opportunities for growth, learning, and deeper enlightenment. And never forget that within each of us is a part of the Buddha, a seed of enlightenment. With patience and compassion, we can nurture and care for that seed until the tree of enlightenment blooms, bearing sweet and nourishing fruits. Samsara and lessons from rebirth. As we delve deeper into the concept of samsara, let us reflect on the lessons that rebirth offers. Have you ever wondered why life seems to unfold in a certain way? Why some are born into wealth and privilege, while others face poverty and illness from birth? Rebirth holds the key to understanding these differences. It is the mechanism through which the universe arranges opportunities for us to learn and transform. Each life is a unique journey, carrying its own set of lessons. Rebirth is not merely the transition from one life to another. It is a process of assimilating what we have learned and continuing to confront the lessons we have yet to master. Some people seem to face hardships throughout their lives, while others appear to enjoy ease and happiness. This disparity is not due to predetermined fate, but rather the result of karma accumulated in past lives. When we recognize that each lifetime is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to evolve, we stop judging life and instead approach it with gratitude and acceptance. Suffering and challenges are not punishments, but lessons we must overcome to progress toward enlightenment. At times, we may question why we must endure pain, but it is through these trials that we discover our true nature and find the path to becoming better individuals. Imagine each lifetime as a classroom, each class imparting skills and knowledge necessary for growth. Some lessons are easily learned, while others require us to stumble, struggle, and sometimes fail. Yet failure is not an endpoint. It is the first step toward profound growth. Lessons unlearned in this life will carry into the next, while the wisdom we gain becomes the foundation for our progress in the future. Samsara is not a meaningless cycle of repetition. It is an ongoing process of advancement. Each lifetime is a step forward on the long journey toward enlightenment. In some lives, the lessons may involve rectifying past mistakes, while in others, they may provide opportunities to practice compassion, patience, or forgiveness. When we encounter someone who hurts us, it may be a chance to learn forgiveness and release resentment. When faced with difficulties, it may be an opportunity to cultivate patience and uncover inner strength. By viewing life in this way, we come to understand that samsara and rebirth are not burdens, but profound opportunities for spiritual growth. Each challenge is a teacher, each relationship a chance for connection and transformation, and each moment an invitation to take another step toward the ultimate goal of enlightenment. There are times when life feels like an endless chain of suffering, but if we look deeper, we'll see that these very difficulties are essential for our growth. If life were filled only with joy and ease, could we truly develop compassion, gratitude, or wisdom? Without darkness, how could we appreciate the value of light? Rebirth is an opportunity to face ourselves, to transform the shadows within our hearts into the light of compassion and wisdom. Another profound gift of samsara is the sense of connection it brings. We do not exist in isolation. We are all interconnected, not just in this lifetime, but across countless lifetimes. The people we meet, the relationships we form, are not random. Perhaps we've encountered them in previous lives, and now we have the chance to continue walking together on the path of learning. These connections carry both positive and negative karmic ties, and through them, we learn to love, forgive, and transform. Understanding rebirth and samsara allows us to see that nothing happens without reason. Every encounter, every event in life carries its own meaning, each a part of the journey we are on. When we realize that suffering is not punishment, but an opportunity, our hearts grow lighter. Instead of blame, we cultivate gratitude for the lessons life offers us. But do we truly need many lifetimes to learn these lessons? That is the difference between the enlightened and the unenlightened. The enlightened realize that all these lessons can be learned in this very lifetime, and they commit to transforming themselves here and now. We don't have to wait for the next life to live meaningfully. We can begin now by living with compassion, understanding, and acceptance. Samsara and rebirth are not merely cycles of repetition, but opportunities to become better, to draw closer to enlightenment. When we understand rebirth, we see that nothing is meaningless and nothing is ever truly lost. Everything is transformation, a part of the eternal flow of the universe. Let us view life as an opportunity to learn, to love, and to transform. Let us remember that every breath, every step, holds significance and is part of the path leading to liberation. Karma and personal responsibility. Change begins within. Let us delve deeper into the topic of karma and personal responsibility, an essential key to understanding the intimate connection between our actions, thoughts, and the outcomes in our lives. Karma is not something we can blame on others or attribute to an external force. It is created by us and can only be transformed by us. This is both the wonder and the challenge of the law of cause and effect. When discussing karma, personal responsibility is paramount. We often tend to blame circumstances or others when things don't go as we wish. But if we truly understand karma, we realize that everything begins with us. What we experience today is the result of seeds we sowed in the past, and what we do today will shape the outcomes of tomorrow. There is no randomness in this universe, and no one but ourselves can bring happiness or suffering into our lives. Awareness of personal responsibility is the first step in transforming our karma. If we desire a life of peace and happiness, we must begin with our actions, words, and thoughts. No one else can change our karma for us, and no one else can bring us happiness. This is not a punishment, but an opportunity, a chance to take control of our destiny, to transform, and to create a better life. Every action we take, no matter how small, carries karma. A kind word can generate positive karma, bringing joy and peace to others. A hurtful word can create negative karma, causing suffering not only to others, but also to ourselves. When we understand that all our actions have consequences, we naturally become more mindful in how we treat others and ourselves. By embracing personal responsibility, we move from being victims of circumstance to creators of our destiny. This understanding empowers us to live with greater compassion, intentionality, and awareness, fostering a life of meaningful connections and growth. Each thought, word, and deed becomes a tool for transformation, offering us endless opportunities to rewrite the course of our lives. We must also recognize that karma is not only created by actions, but also by thoughts. Our thoughts shape our karma and profoundly influence our lives. If we consistently dwell on negativity, we generate a source of negative energy, which will return to us, making life bleak and challenging. Conversely, by nurturing positive, loving thoughts, we create a source of positive energy, bringing lightness and happiness into our lives. Personal responsibility is not a burden, but an opportunity to take charge of our lives. When we understand that we are the creators of our karma, we no longer feel powerless in the face of circumstances. Instead, we gain confidence in our ability to change. Change begins within, with our thoughts, emotions, and daily actions. Every time we perform a kind act, forgive someone, or help others, we are transforming negative karma and generating positive karma. At times, we may encounter situations where our efforts to change seem to yield no results. This could be because the karmic weight of the past is still too heavy and requires time to be transformed. In such moments, we should not feel discouraged or lose faith. Instead, we must remember that karma is an ongoing process. Every virtuous action has value, even if its effects are not immediately visible. Like planting a seed, we must exercise patience, trusting that it will one day sprout and grow strong. By maintaining persistence and faith, we honor the process of transformation. Our positive efforts gradually shape a brighter future, both for ourselves and for those around us. This understanding reminds us that every thought, every action, no matter how small, contributes to the karmic tapestry of our lives. One crucial aspect of karma we must understand is compassion for ourselves. When we recognize that we have created negative karma, we need to accept it and forgive ourselves. No one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that we acknowledge our errors and commit to making changes. Self-compassion prevents us from sinking into self-blame or insecurity, instead empowering us to strive to become better. A vital lesson karma teaches us is compassion and understanding for others. When we realize that everyone is carrying the weight of their own karma, we become more empathetic, less judgmental, and less resentful. We see that those who hurt us are also suffering from their own struggles. Instead of responding with anger, we can choose forgiveness and understanding. This approach not only transforms our karma, but also fosters a peaceful life for ourselves and those around us. Take a moment to reflect on your life and ask, what karma has led to what I'm experiencing now? What can I do to transform it? By asking these questions, you initiate the process of change and begin to take control of your life. Personal responsibility is not something to fear. It is a source of strength and freedom, allowing you to shape your destiny. Karma is not fixed. It is a dynamic process that can be transformed. When we change our mindset and the way we live, we also change our karma. Every kind act and every positive thought is a step forward on the path of karmic transformation. When we understand that we are the creators of our karma, we no longer feel powerless or afraid. Instead, we cultivate confidence, peace, and compassion. This is how change begins, from within. By transforming our hearts and minds, we can create a better life, not only for ourselves, but also for those around us. It is this journey of self-compassion, responsibility, and positive action that leads to profound growth and a life imbued with meaning and harmony. Liberation from samsara, the path to enlightenment and inner peace. In the previous discussions, we explored samsara, karma, and personal responsibility. Now we arrive at the final and most crucial aspect, how to liberate ourselves from samsara and walk the path of enlightenment, achieving true inner peace. This is the ultimate destination for all of us, the highest purpose of existence within the endless cycle of birth and death. Many people believe that liberation is an unattainable ideal, reserved only for Buddhas or great spiritual masters. However, liberation is not beyond our reach. It is a state of consciousness that we can all attain with genuine effort and determination. Liberation is not about renouncing everything. It is about freeing ourselves from attachments and the suffering we create for ourselves. Understanding suffering and its causes. The first step to liberation is understanding the nature of suffering and its causes. According to the Buddha's teachings, suffering arises from craving and ignorance. Craving is the insatiable desire for more, be it material possessions, emotional attachments, or status. We are often bound by these desires, which become the root of our pain. When we desire something and cannot have it, we suffer. When we achieve what we desire, we fear losing it, and that too causes suffering. This endless cycle traps us in samsara, and to escape it, we must let go of craving. Letting go of attachments. Letting go does not mean abandoning everything, but rather freeing ourselves from attachment. We can still live fully, work, and love, but without allowing these things to bind our minds. To love someone without demanding anything in return is true love. To work without seeking recognition or becoming entangled in competition leads to peace. When we let go of attachment, we begin to experience freedom within ourselves. This is the first step toward liberation. Practicing non-attachment in daily life. Letting go is a practice that involves mindfulness and intentionality in every moment. 1. Mindfulness of thoughts and desires. Recognize when desires arise and question whether they bring true happiness or only momentary satisfaction. 2. Focus on the present moment. Let go of clinging to the past or anxiety about the future. Find joy in the now. 3. Cultivate compassion and selflessness. Transform attachment into selfless acts of love and service. When we begin to detach from the ego and its endless wants, we free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. The essence of liberation. Liberation is not about escaping life, but about transforming how we experience it. It is about cultivating wisdom to see the impermanence of all things and compassion to embrace life with an open heart. As we learn to live without clinging, we move closer to enlightenment, a state of profound peace where we are no longer controlled by external circumstances. This path may seem challenging, but every step, no matter how small, brings us closer to freedom. It begins with understanding the nature of suffering, embracing personal responsibility, and practicing non-attachment. In doing so, we create space for inner peace, wisdom, and true happiness, not only for ourselves, but for all beings we touch. Wisdom and compassion, the path to liberation from samsara. To overcome ignorance, we need wisdom. True wisdom is not merely knowledge, but an understanding of life's true nature, the impermanence and emptiness of all things. Everything in life is impermanent and constantly changing. Nothing is fixed or eternal. When we grasp the reality of impermanence, we stop clinging to fleeting things and no longer fear loss, for we recognize that change is a natural part of existence. Joy and sorrow alike will pass, and this awareness brings us inner peace. The role of wisdom and compassion. On the path to enlightenment, wisdom and compassion are two indispensable pillars. Wisdom helps us see the truth of existence, the impermanence of all things, and the interconnected nature of life. Compassion enables us to transcend selfishness and resentment, fostering a profound connection with all beings. When we live with compassion, we no longer feel isolated or wounded by others. We recognize that all beings are bearing their own suffering. Compassion not only brings joy to others, but also nurtures peace within ourselves. When we love without expectation or forgive without conditions, we feel a lightness in our hearts, and our spirit becomes serene. Living free within life. Liberation from samsara does not mean renouncing life, but living in it without being bound by it. By embracing life with understanding, compassion, and wisdom, we can find liberation in this very lifetime. Each time we let go of an attachment or forgive a grievance, we take another step toward enlightenment. Liberation is not an instant achievement, but a process, a journey of mental cultivation and self-transformation. A meaningful life. A meaningful life is not defined by material abundance or worldly achievements, but by the peace and genuine happiness we find within ourselves. True happiness does not come from external possessions or circumstances. It resides within us, in understanding, acceptance, and compassion. When we release ourselves from craving and view life through the lens of wisdom and compassion, we discover that happiness has always been present, right here in the moment. There is no need to seek it elsewhere. Freedom from samsara. To be free from samsara is to be free from the suffering we create for ourselves. It is to accept and love ourselves and all beings unconditionally. Living with enlightenment means no longer seeing life as an endless chain of suffering, but as an opportunity to learn, to love, and to transform. With this understanding, we no longer fear death, knowing that it is simply a part of the cycle of existence. If we live well, we will continue to create conditions for better lifetimes ahead. Liberation is not an end. It is a profound transformation in how we live, think, and connect with the world. Through wisdom, compassion, and the intentional practice of letting go, we can transcend suffering and walk the path to enlightenment, finding true peace within ourselves and sharing it with all beings. The path to enlightenment, a journey to inner peace. The path to enlightenment is not an easy one, but it is the only road that leads to true peace and happiness. You don't need to be a saint or a monk to find liberation. You only need to live with compassion, understanding, and acceptance. Each time you let go of an attachment, forgive someone, or live with a compassionate heart, you are drawing closer to liberation and discovering inner peace. Remember, liberation is not something distant or unattainable. It is within reach for all of us. It is present in every thought, every action, and every word we speak daily. Every one of us has the potential to attain enlightenment and find peace if we truly commit ourselves to the journey with effort and determination. When you find peace within yourself, you also contribute to creating a more peaceful world for all beings. Thus, the quest for liberation from samsara and the attainment of enlightenment is not about abandoning life, but about transforming your soul. By living with wisdom, compassion, and acceptance, you will find true peace and happiness. This is the path that leads to liberation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope the insights shared through the Awakening Mind channel bring tranquility and peace to your soul. If you found this video helpful, please share it to spread these positive messages. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our latest videos. May you always remain calm and happy with a soul as serene as a clear, flowing stream. See you in the next video.